Well, hi there, this is DBT, and alright, it's time to play something a little bit different for a change, I suppose. This is, of course, as you can see in the title, Asphalt 9. This is a game that I've been playing a fair bit. I've been playing this thing for, I don't know, like maybe 8-10 months, I don't know. This is the mobile version. I've also been playing a little bit of the Switch version, and actually I wish I could actually show you more of the Switch version than this one that is the mobile version of the game, but you know, it's a bit of an impossibility at the moment since I don't have a capture card, but I'm trying to figure that out. In the meantime, I at least want to talk a little bit about this game, show you some races of it, and you know, tell you what's been my experience with this game. You could say that this is a bit of a review, not really, in some races. So, as usual, I have some copyright-free music, or at least, you know, that is not gonna take me out of YouTube music on the background. I'll leave the link on the description so that you can see where I got it from. So, alright, what's up with this game? You may know that I play a fair bit of Asphalt 8, even though I haven't uploaded a whole bunch of content about Asphalt 8, and this is the first time that I'm doing for Asphalt 9. The reason I'm doing this is mostly because, you know, in my YouTube channel, I have mostly focused on just showing stuff about my mods and some playthroughs of this thing and that thing, right? But the reality is that a lot of my free time I also spend on racing games, and this is a racing game that I have a lot of thoughts on. I enjoy and I hate. It's a little bit of both, so we'll get to that. So again, this is a mobile version, and I should say that I've been playing this game, like I said, for a long time now, relatively long time, but I really haven't spent money on this game. I'm mostly a free-to-play type of player in this game, meaning that I haven't purchased anything. I haven't, you know, actually I did buy one thing. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a $1 thing, and that was mostly just to get rid of all the pop-up ads. Now I don't get the pop-up ads, I only get the option to play ads to get the multipliers, and we'll talk about all that. But in the meantime, I did want to show a little bit of the cars that I own. Again, all of these have been cars that I've been able to unlock. You will see cars that I've unlocked are, of course, either golden or blue. All of these that is grayed out is cars that I don't have. There's some that I have blueprints for, but I don't actually have the car. For example, this thing, right? It doesn't look fully grayed out like this one, but I actually don't own it, so that's why some of it is actually grayed out. So with that in mind, I'll just slowly scroll through this, and I would love to show you each one of the cars directly, you know, on this type of view. Hold on, if it was to work, that is. There we go. But the thing is that it's a bit difficult, considering that it will also show cars that I don't have. And this is one of the first things that bothers me about this game, is how there's no filters for your garage. Right now it shows me all the cars that are quote-unquote available in this game, and I say quote-unquote available because there's even more cars in the game than the one shown here, but some of them are hidden. But still, the, let's say, non-hidden cars are shown here, and I cannot filter like you can in Asphalt 8. In Asphalt 8 you can select, oh, I want to select only cars from this brand, or I only want to see cars that I own. I want to see cars of this category and that type of deal. Over here you can only select the ECBAS, but that's it. It will still show you the big list. So yeah, I again, all of the cars that I'm showing over here, it's, you know, cars that I've what's the past tense of sweat? Sweaten? I sweat. Cars that I sweat for. It's been a lot of grinding, and you know, that's kind of just how this type of games work, this mobile racing games. And I don't know that I've said this about Asphalt 8, but it's pretty much the same with Asphalt 9. They can afford to make these games incredibly grindy because of the core of the game itself being good, being really enjoyable, and in my opinion, the best arcade racing game in mobile, at least in Android. I don't know what else is available in iOS, but at least on Android, Asphalt 8 and Asphalt 9 are definitely some of the best, if not the very best racing that you have. And you know, I've also had a lot of time to think about how for example, right now I'm playing it on an emulator. This is my account, my legit account and everything, but I'm playing through an emulator because, you know, I tend to play this also on stream and all of that. But it makes me think like, hey, wait a second. So I have a pretty powerful, or considerably powerful computer where I can play Forza Horizon, which, by the way, I will be uploading some more stuff at some other point on YouTube. I can play other games, other racing games, and I do play other things. But I also kind of question myself, like, why am I playing so much this mobile game? And I came to the conclusion that it's just because it's really enjoyable and it's something that you can carry around. Even though I'm playing it right now on the computer, I can just, when I need to sync back into my phone and just play it on the go whenever I have to go somewhere else and all of that. So yeah, this is like I was saying, a game that I've been playing a lot. I've been enjoying it a lot. I have grinded a lot, but you know, you can definitely make some progress. At the beginning, when I started playing this game, I didn't know a whole bunch of things, like not wasting certain type of currencies, or how to spend it, which cars are not good, which which events you should do, and all of that stuff. So I've done a lot of dumb decisions on how I have spent my resources. No, over time I have learned, and that's why I'm saving now some resources and all of that. But yeah, so right now I'm reaching the S tier type of cars, and again, these are cars that you get for free so long as you grind them for long enough. My current projects are the Lycan Hypersport, which I only have 3 out of 5 stars, and the Lamborghini Egoista, 3 out of 6 stars. Now this is something else that I find really interesting. Asphalt 8 works very different than Asphalt 9 in how you unlock the cars. In Asphalt 8 is mostly about, you know, just getting enough money to buy it. You buy it and then you start upgrading it. In here, however, it's much more about, you know, getting all the blueprints and a lot of RNG, and let's see if you can get the right blueprint that you needed, and now you're just missing a few in order to upgrade or acquire the car. Like for example, this one, the Trion Nemesis. I have 56 out of 60, and that would unlock the car, give it to me with 1 star, but that means that it's only going to be upgradable to a certain point. And yeah, in general, then you have to get I don't know how many more blueprints to reach the 2nd star and upgrade it a bit further, then 3, and so on and so forth. That's why the Lamborghini Egoista, I have it at 3 stars, so I have grinded a lot to get it to 3 star, but I'm still missing a lot of blueprints just to get to the 4th, then another bunch of blueprints for the 5th, and another even more bunch of blueprints to get the 6th star. So that's the very first thing that bothers me about this game, how when you acquire the car, it's still a long grind in order to take it to where you'll be able to upgrade it all the way up. That's the very first thing that bothers me. The second thing that bothers me, and I guess I can show you here, cars have a set number of fuel. So I can only use 4 times this car before it will ask me to refuel, and depending on the car that you're using, the type of car that you use, is how long it's gonna take for it to refuel. But it's an inversely proportional type of deal. The more fuel it has, the less time that it takes to refuel. For example, these cars have 6 points of fuel, and to refuel is gonna take, well, it doesn't say right here, but it would take usually just 15 minutes to refuel those 6 points. So after 6 races, I have to wait 15 minutes to use this car again. But then when you reach, and I'm just doing a big skip, you know, between all the tabs, but when you reach this level of cars, for example, all of these have 4-point fuels. So that's already pretty low. But then you have the Egoista, which you can only use 3 times before it has to refuel. And how long do you have to wait for it to refuel? 6 bloody goddamn hours. 6 hours for the goddamn thing to refuel. So it's not like you can use this car as much as you want. And you know, over time I'll talk a little bit more about the Switch version, because there's some difference there, and that's why I've been preferring to play nowadays more of the Switch version. But like I said, I can record it at the moment, so I thought, well, if I'm gonna upload something about Asphalt 8, at least let's do it with the account that does have a bunch of stuff, and the one that I've been working in for a long time. So alright, let me start doing a couple of races over here. I wanted to show you a little bit of multiplayer, but I thought, hey, let me show you why I keep saying that this game is grindy. There's this whole section called the daily events, and in here it's events that are obviously they're going to be happening daily. The daily car loot, in which you participate, and if you beat the race with certain requirements, you're going to get some blueprints for this particular cars. This is how I eventually unlock the Lamborghini Centenario. But it takes a lot of time. So that's why I keep saying months and months and months and months of doing it daily. Eventually you get it, but you know. So at this point, it's completely pointless for me to do this, because I already own these cars and I have them maxed out. But I'll show you other type of events. There's things like this, the car hunt, where you can play for, it's available for like a week, and you can play a certain amount of you can play as many times as you want and get one of these packs to maybe get a blueprints for the car that it's a car hunt for. But chances are low, and most of the time you'll get a lot of other crap. So it's quite the grind to unlock cars this way. I have done it. This car I don't care because I already have it. But yeah, that's another type of grind. Then there's to get the certain particular cars certain days of the week, like there is Vanity Vistas available on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then you have the CN Concept, which is available on Wednesday and Thursday, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of things to grind like that. And one of them, but I think the most useful, is this one, which is the credit heist. The way this one works is that it gives you certain goals of time that you need to beat. So if you finish the race, they're gonna give you 10,000. If you finish the race with this amount of time with a Class D car, you're gonna get that much. Then with the Class C, Class B, Class A, Class S, and then there's bigger rewards with cars with 2 stars if you beat it with this, regardless of which class of cars it is. If it's 2-star, you will get this. If it's 3-star and you beat this, you're gonna get that, and so on and so forth. At the moment, the maximum I can get is up the way over here because I don't have any car with 6 stars. That's eventually I'll get there someday. Maybe we'll see. We'll see in another year. All right, enough blabbering about it. Let me show you a couple of races over here. So I'm gonna skip completely Class D and Class C because the rewards are very low, and there's a limit of how many rewards you can get in this event. So I skip this 2 because I'd rather get these 3 and then all of these other ones. So my main goal right now is finish the race and with a Class B car beat 144. So for Class B, let's see, what do I have? Oh wow, that's one really loud airplane. Jesus, that sounds like a jet. So these are my no, wait a second, these are D. No, this is sorted. This is another thing that is annoying about the game. Right now it's sorting it by star count. So you can see a bunch of cars that I don't have, then the cars that I have with 2 stars, regardless of their D or if they're B or whatever they are. And the cars with 3 stars and the cars with 4 stars. And this is actually where I wanted to land, because in 4 stars, the one I want to use is the Lamborghini Asterion. As some of you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of Lamborghini. Like, really a big fan. So little by little, I've been trying to get whatever Lamborghini it's possible to get over here. But, you know, there's, I don't know, 10, 12 Lamborghinis. I don't know how many are in this game, but only you can only get a few of them, and more so in a free fashion. There were other Lamborghinis that I wasn't playing at the time. So I lost the chance to get them, and now there's no way to get them. And by the way, the sound might be a little bit fucky. If you are familiar with this game, you may notice that some sounds are missing. I think this has to do with the emulator that I'm using at the moment. It tends to do that. Well, it does that with Asphalt 8 sometimes. It didn't do it with Asphalt 9, but there was a very recent update in Asphalt 9, and it made it so much more stable. At least on this emulator, it works so much more stable. It used to crash very often, but now it doesn't. But now, because of that same update, I have this issue with the sound. But I'd rather have the game stable than, than the sound to be working perfectly. And actually, that's something that I would like to talk about a little bit. The sound of this game is one of the reasons why I don't like it as much, let's say, as Asphalt 8. And I know that we're talking about a very big generational gap between the 2 games. In case you don't know, Asphalt 8 was released in 2013, and this game was released, if I'm not mistaken, in 2018. So this is a much newer game. You can tell by the better graphics and all that. But the sound design, it's a part where I feel like it took a big step, what would you say, downwards. Because the sound of the engine, the general sound mix of this game, it's, in my opinion, very questionable. Oh, get out of the way, you stupid cop car. I feel like and I wish I could show you with more detail, but again, the sound is fucky. So I know it's gonna be a mixed message when I'm saying that the sound is fucky, and on top of that, I'm gonna be complaining about the sound. But my complaint over here, okay, so right there, I beat the goal with the Class B. I beat the goal with 140 for 2 stars. My car is 4 stars, so by default, it already beats the 2 stars, beats the 3 stars, and I managed to get the 4-star reward of 132. So now my goal will be to do with the Class A and Class S, and also reach the 128 seconds. And I'm not going to watch ads at the moment because I don't want to watch ads when I'm recording this. But yeah, so I know that the message is a bit mixed with me saying that the sound is fucky and then complaining about the sound, but I'm talking when the sound actually works proper. It's really weird because the engine sound gets drowned. You know what? I'm gonna do a display of all Lambos. Let me use my Aventador SV. When the sound is working fine, the engine sound gets muffled, not muffled, gets put in the back by every other sound. Like you use your nitro, goodbye engine sound. There was a bit of a crash, goodbye engine sound. It like fades out and then fades back in. So it's really annoying because for a person like me that I really enjoy listening to the engine sounds and all of that, to have the engine be so deprioritized, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm gonna use it. Deprioritized is one of the things that bothers me the most about it. And not only that, like I said, I'm using right now a different music bunch, or bunch of music, I guess. But when you have the game with the regular music, the music is incredibly loud and just drowns out everything else. So if I'm playing with music, then I would lower the music to like 50%. Also, all the other sounds to 50%, and the only thing that would be to 100 would be the engine, just so that I can hear the engine a little bit. It's ridiculous how how they prioritize all the other sounds but the engine. And I don't know, maybe I don't think I'm the only one who appreciates engine sounds in games. That's why there was a big problem with the sounds in Forza Horizon 4, with people like hating how the engine sounds in that game and all of that. So there's definitely, I know there's more people who like the engine sound. So I don't understand how when they were developing this game they were like, yeah, let's make it so that the engine is barely audible. So just to give you an example, let me see if I can show you this sound. This is currently how I have it. So let me put the sound effects to maximum. I'm gonna pause the music. And again, the sound is a bit fucky, but it should give you an idea of how everything is so loud compared to the engine. Yeah, it's weird because the engine is fairly audible thanks to this sound issue that I'm having. But you see how I start doing things and the engine, you can barely hear it? That's kind of how this game is, but worse in its normal, when it's working proper. So yeah, that's another issue that I have with this game. So we have covered the fuel system that I hate, the blueprint system that I don't love. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. We have covered sound. So another thing that I need to talk about, and now for the Class S, I'm going to use the Centenario, my only Lambo that I have on Class S. And let's see if we can beat the required time. Another problem that I have with this game, which, kind of detracted from me playing it as much as I wanted for a long time, is the physics in it. And again, this is coming from a person that is very biased in this subject because, of course, I played Asphalt 8, so I like the physics of Asphalt 8. So jumping into Asphalt 9, the gameplay is really, really, really different. Like the DNA of the game, you could say that it's kind of the same. Let me restore the sounds as I like them. Let's put it to 70. The DNA of the game, I suppose in a way you can say, well, yeah, this is Asphalt, and it has the same thing with the nitro system and the crazy jumps and all of that stuff. So that's how you understand that this is also an Asphalt game, right? Or that is the Asphalt DNA. But the game itself had different rules in regards to how the Asphalt 8 works in a way where it's top speed at all times and it's all about learning the tracks perfectly and basically that's it. Learning how to take certain curves and do your nitro perfectly. In this game, however, it's a bit different in the sense that it's much more about keeping your momentum rather than braking and drifting everywhere and quickly gaining speed. In this game, it takes a considerable amount of time for you to build the speed, so it's in your best interest to keep it. So I don't dislike that very much. It took me quite a while to understand that was how this game functioned, or that's what the game wants you to do. But once I got it, I've been getting better at it, at knowing when to drift, when it's not a good idea, when to try to get all your speed going, and all of that stuff. So that's not a problem for me. The problem that I have with the game is that the physics feel incredibly, incredibly bouncy. Your cars feel like they're a balloon with some light gas in it. Because the moment you land, you will see how your car suddenly starts bouncing up and down. It's really annoying, and that causes a lot of unpredictability in the game. In some situations where I go like, that's utter bullshit. How did that happen? My car should have been able to do whatever jump. And also the bullshitometer, I guess, which is my theory that this game has. Oh, by the way, I managed to get the Class A reward, but I didn't get the 5-star goal, which was beat 128. I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try it. I'm not amazing at this game, by the way, so you'll see me failing. So I'm gonna try with my best class S car and hope that I can reach this, which is my volcano to titanium. I was talking about the bullshit-ometer, I guess. I don't know what to call it, but it's my theory that this game has this in the core of the code of this game. There's probably some if that applies a 1 in 10 chance for the game to just fuck you over no matter what you do. Because sometimes and reliably, I'm not saying that very frequently, but very reliably, the game is gonna do weird shit that it usually doesn't do. You know, like, wait a second, I took this jump perfectly, why did this jump not work? And you land on your roof for no apparent reason. And you know, while you get some of these occurrences in Asphalt 8-2, in this game it just feels so much more noticeable. So that's my theory. This game has a random chance of suddenly fucking you over to be like, yep, there you have it. And this kind of brings me to, this captain, the cops, I hate the cops too. Hate them in a good way, but I hate them. I think this one is gone. I don't think I'll reach the goal of time, but let's see. I heard this, and you know that taco, I don't remember the name of this dude. That was given like a conference about how to predatorily monetize your game so as to get people invested and all of that stuff. There was a big noise. There was a lot of noise made about that, you know, and how people got paid to teach other people how to fuck with their players and get every penny. So anyway, I mentioned that because over there they talked about something that I thought it was really interesting. How they were saying that your game, when you're designing a mobile game, it shouldn't be completely skill based, because then all that matters is the skill, and then you have really skilled players that are going to be doing fantastic. The idea is to have a random factor in it. 27 to, I think I beat the 20. Was it 28 the goal that I needed? I got 127. Come on, tell me that's what I needed. Oh yes, look at that, beautiful. So just by doing all those little races, even though I played the same race like 4 times, that worked to get a whole bunch of credits. I don't remember how many I had before, but I probably just got what, like 60, 45, 30, that's 135, 155, 205, like 250,000 credits for doing these 4 races. So, and plus another 10. So yeah, this is a way to start getting the credits here, but let me just finish the idea that I was talking about. That if your game is too skill based, then just people will eventually get good and just be doing good at your game. You want it instead to have a randomness, so that even the best players can fuck it up because of the randomness, and even the worst players every once in a while they're gonna have a fluke and do really good. So I think that this game definitely takes it very seriously and just randomly decides to fuck you over. So yeah, it's the physics on this game have driven me. They have driven me nuts. This is one of the few games that I have literally rage quit, because yeah, it can get to that point. So all right, that's my general thoughts on the game. With all the negativity that I'm still spewing, I still like the game, and that's why I'm playing it, and that's why I want to bring a little bit more of this type of deal into the YouTube channel, because you know, I want to put more Asphalt 8, I want to put more Asphalt 9, I want to do some more racing, because let me tell you, when Forza Horizon 5 comes out, I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of that. So just getting you prepared for the type of content that you might be seeing in the future, a lot more racing. So there is that. Alright, so just to end this video so as to not make it extremely long, let's do a multiplayer race in the season finale of this thing. I don't remember. I think I can only, yeah. So this particular multiplayer thing, of all the cars that you could use for this one, I only have one, and it's the Aston Martin Vulcan. I have it at 4-star, which is its maximum, but I cannot upgrade it all the way, because that's another thing, by the way. Once you finally get your car to all the stars and you start upgrading to stage 1, stage 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 until stage 11 in this case, you also start applying what is called import parts, which you also acquired through pretty much loot box mechanics in this game. That's basically what it is. And then specific import parts, and then on top of that, there's this, I don't know what they're called, epic parts, or I don't know. These are incredibly difficult to get, incredibly difficult. So I have gotten only 2, and I put them on the tires, or 1, I don't remember, and I spent it over here, so that's why it says that this one has reached the maximum level. But I still need 2 pieces more to put in the acceleration, 2 more on the top speed, and 2 more on the nitro. So basically, once you finally got your car all the way up and you upgraded all of the levels, all of the stages, and you put all of the parts, you still need to get this goddamn impossible to get parts. And that's why you will see that I have a lot of cars that may be at 4 stars, but they're not golden. Let me just go quickly back to finish this idea, or this thought. This car, for example, no, not this one, it's a bad example, because those are very particular. Let's say this car right here. I have it at 3 stars, which is the maximum. And it says that it says, that it says here max, it means that it's at the maximum of stars. But why is it not golden like these few cars that I have over here? That is because I don't have those epic, whatever they're called, parts. So that's another grindy part of this game, that once you finally upgrade all your car all the way up, you still need to get these parts and hope to God that you eventually get them. They're really difficult to get, so much so, the only 3 cars that I have golden, aka that I upgrade all the way, is because the initial car, the starter cars, don't really have this requirement of this additional piece. It's just the normal import parts. So that's why these cars I was able to take them, quote unquote, to golden status, aka they're literally at the very, very, very maximum that they can be. But then, like I said, all the other cars, you don't need them. And the only car that I managed to do that was for this bad boy over here. The CN Concept is one of those weekly cars that are available with a lot of, basically, again, loot box mechanics. So eventually it's possible to do it, it just takes so long. So that's another hyper grindy part of this game. So I know that this, as much as a review, it's not so much a review, just my general rambly thoughts on it. But I think it should give you an idea of how I love and hate this game. I love to play, it's really fun, but it frustrates me, and you know, the whole thing with the loot box mechanic, basically, or you know, the gacha game, if you will, where it's like, oh, I need this one part and I'm gonna get some packs, and then it turns out that, oh, you got a whole bunch of cards that you already have, so you don't need them, it's repeats, and you don't get the particular one that you want. That's just how this one goes. So one person on stream, because I've streamed this game a few times, somebody asked me, then why are you playing this game if it's so why are you wasting your time playing this game? And I'm gonna return to the original idea that I said earlier in the video, that I play it because it's fun. It's frustrating, it's very bullshitty, but it's fun. And overall, like I said, I've only spent $1 single to get rid of the ads on the game. So all the stuff that I've gotten in this game, and yeah, this is proper multiplayer, and this car is not gonna do me amazing, so don't expect me to win. If I win, it will be a fluke, I promise. So all that I've gotten in the game has been, you know, stuff that I've gotten for free through a lot of grinding. But then again, as much as I said that it's a lot of grinding, here's the thing though, it's not like I play this game 5 hours a day to grind. No, the grind is playing this game for 10 minutes every day. And that's the grind, because, well, let's say 15 minutes, because that's how long it's gonna take you to do the races like I did to get the credits, and then do the races for the daily events to get the blueprints, and then that's it, you did the stuff for the day, so return tomorrow and do the same thing. It's a very repetitive situation. And as usual, as I said before, a big part of the fun in this type of games, it's the multiplayer. That's what's really worth it. So as grindy and boring as it sounds, you know, to be like, oh god, so you're, oh, this little shit knocked me down. All right, 6th place, here I go. No, that's something else. But I've hated on knockdowns in Asphalt 8 and Asphalt 9 all the same. So I don't think that's a unique grievance that I have with this game. But anyway, so as boring as it may seem to be, like, well, why are you playing this? Like, if it's so boring, well, that part is boring. But overall, I think the game did what it wanted to do. Get you addicted to it, get you used to the game, and just have some fun, even if for a little bit. And ideally, what the game wants you to do is be returning to the game constantly the same day. Because it's like, oh, your car has refueled, so now you can play your 6 races again and wait for another half hour, something like that. So even though that's what the game wants, I really didn't do that. I only did that when I really had a lot of free time. But you know, in general, for the everydays, we'll be like, oh yeah, I need to do my daily tasks and do a couple of multiplayer races, and that's it. That's what I did today. And see you tomorrow, game. now that I have a bunch of cars that I have gotten over time and all, I can actually play much more multiplayer because I have a bunch of cars. The thing with multiplayer is indeed that if you have 3 cars and they're gonna take 20 minutes to refuel, you're gonna do the races, you're gonna run out of fuel, and then you're gonna have to be like, oh, I have to wait for this long. The advantage of having, you know, several cars is just that you run out of fuel with this one. Well, let's use the next one. Then, at least at the point that I am, I tend to run out of time or interest in the game before I run out of fuel for all the cars that I would like to use. So in a way, that's fine, but it's still, the whole fuel system is really annoying, but because if you want to use your one car that you're really proud of, it's like, oh, well, you're fucked because you can only use it so many times before. Oh, no, I'm gonna fall out. Ah, shit. Let's pretend that I'm not gonna lose a second race in a row. Actually, I might be able to take over those 2 guys. Alright, 5th place at least. That's all. So, yeah, those are my general thoughts on the game. I knocked him down, but I wasn't even trying. I don't know how that happened. Alright, I'll take it. Those are my general thoughts on the game. I know, you know how DBT is with these videos. I'm very rambly. I don't have like a script. I never work with a script. So everything comes offhand, basically. So yeah, a lot of blah blah, not a lot of action, not all the time. But I hope this was informative in a way. And yeah, like I said, I will be uploading more content of this game. Probably doing some daily stuff, or more likely I'm just gonna be jumping into multiplayer and showing you how the grind in multiplayer is. It's really fun just because there's a lot of losses, a lot of wins, and you just, you know, you're just hoping that you can do good. So overall, if I had to give this game a score, a DBT score, that's a new thing in the channel that I'm gonna be doing often, and by that I mean that I won't. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's a fun game, but it's a big issue with all these mobile mechanics to make you wait and make you grind and all of that stuff. But if you can put up with that and you can play the game without, you know, lusting for the absolute best cars, you can play this game for free, no problem. Get a bunch of cars and, you know, just stick to it and play for fun. But if you're going for the really, you know, big mighty cars, don't worry, you can buy your way to get them. All you need to do is pay, this is equivalent to about $100, and that won't even unlock the car. That would only give you 15 blueprints out of I don't know how many you need. So yeah, this game, don't spend money on it. That's all I can say. Don't spend money on this game. It's absolutely horrible in that regard. But yeah, that's it. I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will be receptive to some more racing stuff on the channel, because that's what's gonna be happening. Leave me in the comments what you thought about the game, if you played it, if you like it, or if you prefer Asphalt 8, or what do you play on mobile. Let me know. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, hold that bullshit, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, take care everybody and stay safe. Bye bye.